Came down to this little creek by my house. Here's Katie and Bubba. I'm trying to find a piece of wood that I could do something, a little tribute carving for Frankie, but I know he would like this place. Okay, man, talk soon. And I did find one good chunk of cedar on the forest floor. It had a little bit of punkiness in the middle on the top, but it has potential, and I just felt like this was the piece. This was the piece I was going to use for Frankie. So now I'm going to sit back. I'm going to look at this piece and let the spirit reveal itself. All right, guys, here we are. I just brought it in. I can see what is, how people say it's the spirit within. I can see something with my eye right now. So I'm just going to grab the pen and throw it on there before it goes anywhere. And then that'll be the beginning of this project for Frank, in Frank's name and honor. Okay, I'll put you into the overhead. Now, I've been thinking deep about what the subject for this carve for Frank would be. It could be so many things, but I wanted to go for a wood spirit. We all originally came for wanting to learn how to carve a wood spirit, and we met each other at Carving Fusion World of Wood Carvers. And so I just wanted to go back to the OG, where we all came from, and this tribe and family began, you know. So that's what we're going for. We're doing a classic wood spirit, but Wowwy'z style. And I had my own private nickname for Frank. I called him the Gentle Giant. And it wasn't so much in stature, like physically, but it was the energy that he brought to the tribe. And just anytime that I communicated with him, he just had huge loving energy. So I called him the Gentle Giant. And I was very, very surprised how the image came into my mind of how this was going to look. It was like a message from beyond. And I want this wood spirit to represent rest now, Gentle Giant. The pain is over. So we'll see if I can make it happen.
People say, hey, what's going on today? Down in Wowwy'z workshop, art each day to chase the blues away. Down in Wowwy'z workshop, brought to you by two brothers, one vision.
And those were some tunes by thru, made just for Frankie. They live in Australia, Frank and Debbie. And so we wanted to have music that kind of fits that vibe. So now that I cut those lines in with the carbide burr, I'm going to switch over into the cuts all fine taper and clean those lines up. And it's just kind of the method that I've acquired. I use those carbide cutters, and then I go in with the cuts alls and clean everything up nice. Gotta make this right for Frankie. And next I'm gonna move on outside. It's a beautiful day, and I've decided to put on an eyebrow and some crow's feet, the little wrinkles next to the eye there, and just to give it a more complete look, a fuller complete look. So here I'll draw that eyebrow in, and then we will go cut it in and make the vision stay. Alrighty then. Next, we're going to get the hanging hardware situated and wood burn the signature on the back so that we can finally seal the front and get this piece finished. So here I am just getting that figured out there. I had to do a little carving so the thing would fit in there nice and Kentucky. And with my awl, I'll get the little holes lined up and that piece screwed in. And while I'm doing this, I'm thinking about how I'm going to wood burn the signature and my plan is to write for Frank, and then I want Kindred Spirits wood carvers, but I believe I'll do the KSWC, and then Two Brothers, One Vision. That's my plan anyways, but the wood back here is kind of punky and stuff, so I don't know how the wood burning pens are going to take to it. You just never quite know until you dive in and just do it to it, as we like to say here. Once I get it on there and the plan is set, we are now going to move back into the creation station with my razor tip SK wood burning unit and burn this in. Now I do it in a certain way where I'll do the straight lines first with one pen, and then I switch over and do the curved lines with another. Then I got a little ball one for any little spots that I need little dots, and I kind of do it that way. I just break it all down and then use the pens that I need. I've got a pretty good little system set. And now that I got that done, I think it looks pretty good. I'm not the biggest fan of wood burning, but we got her done. Now let's seal. I'm using a Rust-Oleum matte spray, and I'm going to put 3 coats on it. This wood is really, really sucking it up, and I want it to have a nice finished look. It's got to be right. This is for Frankie. Something I wanted to mention now that it's all sealed. As I carved deeper on this piece, the inner wood was darker, as you can see. But the way it worked out is that darker wood, it looks like the one last here. Right there. Because the pain is no more. We gotta remember that as much as we miss him. He's free. And I will be hanging him in the Hall of Creations with all the other pieces from the tribe, but for now I want to keep him here next to me in the creation station. Thank you all for watching. Debbie, we love you, and you are not alone. You'll be hearing from me soon. And Frankie, I'll love you forever, brother. Rest now, gentle giant. And we'd like to thank you once again for watching. There is no YouTube without you. And I'm going to share something that Frank posted on his Facebook shortly before he passed. Some very, very wise words. And with that, everybody, much, much love.